Hello, greetings. I hope and pray everybody of you is doing good. The general rule regarding the topic is when the bond prices goes down, bond yields goes up and vice versa. The agenda of this PPT is why this happens. That is why the bond yields go up when the prices of the bond goes down. Let us try and understand it with a very simple example. For example, there is a seller who sells at a lower rate. So definitely the seller is going to make lower profit, but in the same deal, the buyer who is buying from the seller gets benefited in terms of lower amount paid by the buyer. Similarly, the seller of the bond sells it at a reduced price while he loses, the seller loses, but the buyer of the bond gets benefited. Let us try and understand it numerically. Let us assume Mr. A invests in a corporate bond of rupees 100 which is to give him 10% return per annum. It means against the investment of rupees 100, Mr. A will receive rupees 110 at the end of the year. The yield of 10% thus translates to the rupees 10 profit for Mr. A. Going forward, Mr. A met with some exigency or emergency and he needed the funds. So he went to Mr. B and asked him to buy the bond. Mr. B offers Mr. A rupees 90 and the deal has been made. Now, at the end of the year, Mr. B receives 110 from the corporate instead of Mr. A. Thus, Mr. B earns rupees 20 on the investment of rupees 90, which he makes when he buys bond from Mr. A. Now, converting this to the yield or the return of the B is nothing but 20 divided by 90 because on rupees 90 he has he has gained rupees 20 or received rupees 20, so it comes amount to rupees 22.2%. Thus Mr. A's loss by selling the bond to Mr. B at rupees 90 translated into the gain for Mr. B in terms of higher yield, which went up from 10 to 22.2%. So this is why there is a inverse relationship between the bond prices and bond yields. That's all on my part regarding this presentation. Thank you.